G'day, my name is Byron Wilcott. Today I'll be going over the corrective exercise routine I have for someone who has a left lateral ankle sprain. I know you wanted us to have someone else demo this, but with the lack of resources I have tonight, it's just me and the missus. She's going to be rotating around being the cameraman. I hope that's okay. Hopefully my dog don't get in the way. I can't bring him upstairs, he'll wake up the baby. So, first exercise is the self-myofascial release. So, you have your client down on the floor with the foam roller. They'll put their leg on the foam roller, roll until they find the most tender point. They can do this either like so, one foot on the ground, butt on the ground, depending on their sensitivity and how much pain they can take. So find the most tender spot. They'll hold this for 30 to 90 seconds, depending on how much pain they can tolerate, until they feel a release and a lack of pressure. They can do this every day, one set. The next self-myofascial release I will show you is the self-myofascial release of the paranesis muscle. So again, the client can start in this position with taking up some weight on this leg, hold themselves with both hands, or they can put one foot on top of the other, roll until they find the most tender spot, and again, hold 30 to 90 seconds until they feel a release. Once a day, one set. Next, what I'm going to have the client do is doing some stretching of the muscle. So, the first stretch I'm going to show you is a stretch of the gastrocnemius. You have the client face the wall, shoulders and hips forward. You'll bring one foot forward, two hands on the wall for support. The back leg will stay straight. The heel will stay on the ground, feet are pointing forward. They'll find a point at which they get a stretch in the back of the leg, at which point they'll let their body go forward until they feel a good stretch. This stretch they'll hold for 20 to 30 seconds, 1 to 4 sets, and they can do this daily. The next I'll show you is a stretch of the soleus, which is a very similar position as the gastrocnemius. So, again in this position, what you have the client do is bend their back leg. At this point, the stretch should go from here to roughly this area. They'll hold this position. They have to let themselves go forward until they can really feel the stretch and knee go down slightly. The heel again stays on the ground at all times. That's held for 20 to 30 seconds, 1 to 4 sets, and that can be done daily. The next I'm going to show you is the neuromuscular stretch of the gastrocnemius complex. This is going to be hard to do by myself, but hopefully I explain this well enough. So, your client's sitting on the floor. You, as the fitness instructor, will hold their foot here, pressing against them, and trying to stretch their muscle. Once it's stretched enough, and they say that's good, you'll hold that in isometric position, hold for 20 to 30 seconds. At which point, once that time is up, they will contract their gastrocnemius and soleus muscles, trying to press their foot forward while you hold it constantly in isometric position for 7 to 15 seconds. They're going to contract at a 20 to 25% of their maximum voluntary muscle contraction. At which point, after 7 to 15 seconds, they'll relax. You'll try to press their foot even further closer until they feel a good stretch and they say stop, and you'll hold it again for another 20 to 30 seconds. Once that's done, they will contract their muscle again for 7 to 15 seconds. They will do this for 1 to 3 sets, whatever the client feels comfortable. This is something that, again, they can do every day. So far we've covered self-myofascial release and the lengthening of the muscle. What I'm going to cover next is the strengthening of the muscle. Okay? So the first one I'm going to show you is the anterior tibialis the strengthening exercise. Sorry about the dog. Okay, so what you do is have your client sit down on the floor using a band. You can use pulleys from a weight machine if need be. I find this works really well. You have the client sitting straight, one knee up, hands back here for support. All you're going to have them do is put their foot down. They're going to bring it up, hold 1, 2, back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up, 1, 2, down, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very important to make sure the ankle's doing the work and not all the other muscles. They're not moving a lot, they're not shifting your hips. So again, up, 1, 2, down, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can do, they should be doing 1 to 2 sets, 10 to 15 reps, and this should be done every 3 to 5 days. The next I'm going to show you are the inversion and eversion of the ankle. So, for the eversion, if you can see this, you have the client sit here with the band on the foot. Again, knee up. At this point, you want to make sure only the ankle's doing the work. They're not rotating their body, all this good stuff. So, with their ankle like this, you'll let it come in, a little bit of inversion, and out. Eversion, 1, 2. Back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2. Back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2. Back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 10 to 15 reps, 1 to 2 sets every 3 to 5 days. So for the inversion, I was just going to rotate around here and she's going to move with the camera so she can see this. So, you got the client here, again, making sure the ankle does all the work and they're not rotating their legs to try to get this movement done. And if it's too hard, just make them go back under resistance. It's alright to go a little bit lighter. So they'll let their foot out and they'll rotate in, 1, 2, back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inversion, 1, 2, back, 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 1, 2, back, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, what I covered there was the anterior tibialis exercise coming forward towards yourself. Now I went side to side, some inversion, some eversion. Now I'm going to show you the medial gastrocnemius exercise. So, what you have your client do is find a step or something very solid like so. You have them step up on it. It's okay if they use their hands for balance, that's fine, as long as they're not trying to lift themselves with their hands. They'll go on one foot, they'll go down as far as they can, they'll go up, and they'll hold 1, 2, back down 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4. Some clients will probably not be able to do 10 to 15 sets with 10 to 15 reps, which is recommended. That's okay. They can either do less reps or they can do 2-legged. So from here they'll go down, up, 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, down 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, that can be done once or twice, 1 or 2 sets, 10 to 15 reps, 3 to 5 days a week. Next I'm going to show you our couple integration exercises. So I'll get you go back over this way. Okay, first integration exercise. It's a one-legged multiplanar exercise. So what you have your client do, trying to keep your hips as neutral as possible. They'll go up on one leg. What they'll try to do is bend the left leg, putting the foot out as far as they can in the sagittal plane. Without putting their foot down, they'll bring it up, and they'll bring their foot out as far as they can in the frontal plane. It's not as easy as it looks. Again, they'll bring their foot in, and this time they'll go back in the transverse plane, like so. You want these guys doing 1 to 3 sets off about 10 to 15 reps per. So 1, 2, 3, that's 1 rep. 1, 2, 3, do that 10 to 15 times. 1 to 3 sets. Okay, the next exercise we'll be doing is a one-legged squat with overhead press. So, again, you want to try to make sure their hips are not dropping left, right, they're not rotating too much. All they're going to be doing is going up one leg, bending down with the weight going from the right over their left leg, over their left knee. So down, they're going to come back up, and press it over their head. And again, down, up, press over the head. This here, again, is 10 to 15 reps, 1 to 3 sets, and both this one and the one-legged multiplanar can be done 3 to 5 days a week. What I did not mention, which I should have at the beginning, is any exercise that you're doing on the left leg, you should be doing on the right leg as well. That way, your proprioceptors in both your legs are being worked out, and you're always going to become equal after. And that is my conclusion to corrective continuum exercise.